Hey guys, in today's video, I'm going to go over how to play Claw. I'm going to explain what Claw is, give you some tips for learning it, and then also go over some of the hurdles that you might potentially face when learning Claw and some of the rumors that exist out there about playing Claw. If you guys do find this video helpful or informative, please remember to give it a like and subscribe if you would like to see more. So if you're watching this, I assume you already know what Claw is, but it's when your index finger hits the AXBY or triangle circle X square buttons on your controller instead of using your thumb to hit these buttons. At that point, your middle finger is also hitting the triggers. And the reason why you would want to play Claw is so you would never have to take your thumb off the analog stick if you want to do something like jump shot in this game, drop shot, put on armor, reload. Normally, all of those actions would cause you to take your thumb off the analog stick, and that's a point in time where you can't be aiming. So if you want to jump shot and then you can't aim, it doesn't really make sense. You want to be able to jump shot and aim at the same time and track your target, or drop shot and aim at the same time, or get out of a car and aim and kill someone right away. There's various reasons why you don't want to take your thumb off the analog stick. And this has made lots of products like Scuff controllers, Battle Beaver controllers, the Elite controllers that have paddles on the back of them very popular among players because you get this effect of not having to take your thumb off the analog stick in a more natural way to most players than learning Claw. But when you do learn Claw, it will feel natural over time. It might feel weird at first, but it doesn't take very long for you to build that muscle memory. And this is something that you can do on any controller, which is really nice, especially now with the new consoles coming out. If you're a console player, if you buy a PS4 Scuff controller at this point, odds are you're going to have to buy a PS5 one in a few months. And these controllers oftentimes don't last very long. I go through controllers every few months. I just use normal ones. But over time, the analog sticks just get worn down and usually stick drift happens or slow turn or whatever. There's usually some sort of issue with controllers that occur after long use. And you'll have to replace a new Scuff controller, a new Elite controller every time that happens. If you learn how to play Claw, you can use any default controller and still have the advantage of not having to take your thumb off the analog stick, which is really nice. So yeah, you put your index finger to hit the AXBY buttons. And as you see on the hand cam and the gameplay now, I don't understand what a lot of the confusion is about playing Claw. You just do it. I don't know. It might feel weird at first, but after an hour or two of playing, I feel it'll feel somewhat familiar. And then from then you're just developing the muscle memory and getting even more used to it. I feel the hardest part about playing Claw is just starting it and trying. And then once you do that, you're fine. Lots of people say their hands are too small, and I personally know a girl who plays Claw. I myself have played Claw since I was 12 years old, so a very long time. I was much younger, my hands were much smaller, but I was able to do it just fine. So I don't understand that myth that oh, you need to have certain sized hands in order to play Claw. And then another complaint that a lot of people have is that it causes pain, or it causes carpal tunnel, whatever. Like I just said, I've played Claw for several years, a very long time, and I have had no wrist problems with my right wrist, and I have broken my right wrist as well. So if there was potential for there to be problems, I would likely be a decent candidate. I've broken the wrist, I play an absurd amount, and I've played like this for many, many years. The biggest problem, I feel with this is that they acknowledge that just playing games might cause some sort of wrist injuries for some players, and they put all of that on playing Claw, when that's not necessarily the case. There's many mouse and keyboard players that have had problems with wrist. There's controller players that have had problems with their wrist. Just doing the same thing over and over again without stretching at all is the problem, not necessarily playing Claw. I personally do stretches before and after I play every day because I do play an absurd amount being a streamer and making videos and stuff. I sometimes play 6 to 8 to 10 hours a day. And if that's the case, whether you play Claw or not, whether you play controller or not, you should definitely be stretching your wrists. I'll leave a video in the description of some wrist exercises for gamers that you can do this in less than 3 minutes a day. It takes no time at all. And if that is a concern of yours, you're going to be getting rid of that. And I feel it's really disingenuous for people to just put all of that on playing Claw and then not even do the stretches themselves. If it was really an issue they cared about, they would be proactive in that, right? I feel a lot of people just don't want to learn because they want an excuse for why they play poorly. And I don't know. That's just what my opinion is on that complaint that people always have. So if you want to learn how to play Claw, I would definitely recommend it for the reasons I said. I would recommend starting out in a private match. If you own the full game of Warzone, start up a private match with bots. If you don't own the full game, maybe hop into Warzone, Rumble, Kingslayer, Plunder, whatever is in the game at the given time, because they do cycle those modes. And the reason why you want to start in these modes is they're low stress. It doesn't really matter at all if you die, whatever. And you can get in engagements much faster. If you hop in BR, you might get like a few engagements and then just die, and then you have to like back out and search again. The engagements are much more like stressful in BR, and there's much more time between them typically. Whereas if you're playing like Kingslayer, Warzone, Rumble, or a private match versus bots, this is a very low stress environment where you can get a lot of engagements in repetitively and build that muscle memory. Playing Claw isn't something that you're just going to excel at right away, and you might feel like your aim is garbage. That's one thing I remember when I initially started playing Claw, was that my aim felt like garbage at first. But that's just because you have to build new muscle memory with your thumb. My aim now is quite good, and after like a week or so, maybe even less, if you play a lot, you can build that muscle memory back up very easily. That's the biggest thing, is just building muscle memory. And to do that, you have to put in time. And that's what stops a lot of players from playing Claw, is they just see that initial time investment and they check out. Because a lot of the people that complain about playing poorly don't actually want to get better. They just want to have excuses of why they don't play well. Like, this was a thing, especially in the jetpack Call of Duties, but anytime you see players jump shotting, you often see other players being like, oh, I can't buy a $300 controller, so I'll never be good. And that's not the case. If you play Claw, you can play good on a normal controller and still take advantage of all these advanced movements like jump shotting, drop shotting, slide canceling, like weapon swap canceling. There's a lot of reasons why in Call of Duty or any shooter why you would want to take advantage of playing Claw, and I personally would recommend trying, at the very least, giving it an honest try. It might not be for everybody, but if you put in a few days of like sincerely trying to learn this, I think it'll definitely benefit you in the long run and help you become a better player in Call of Duty or Fortnite, whatever game you're trying to play. It's definitely beneficial if you're playing any sort of shooter, in my opinion, to play Claw. So I hope you guys found this video helpful or informative. Like I said before, if you did, remember to give it a like. Leave any comments or questions you have, and I will do my best to answer them in the comments below. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys another time.
Gas is inbound. Marking new safe zone. Good work. That is how.
Oh, that was last? That was convenient. I heard shooting, but I thought he was just like tapping somebody. Hi, GG's. I don't feel like I deserve to win that game though.